In this episode, I will show you how to get started with Figma in under 8 minutes. Starting out with number 1, we have frame tool. Now frame tool is basically the canvas that you create for your design. Now if I hold shift here while dragging it, as you can see, it's creating a perfect canvas, like a square. But if I release shift here, I can create her in any resolution in the canvas. Now in this case, what I will do here, release this, it created her a canvas of 1803 and 1358. I can adjust this to 1920 and 1080. Now normally if you are creating her a web application or web design, you would tend to go with this resolution. But if you click on the frame tool, you have other resolution as well, like for desktop you can create her a MacBook Air kind of design and MacBook Pro and all those things. But it's pretty standard, most desktop using her 1920 by 1080, so we just kind of go with that from startup while designing. Once you create a frames here, by the way, what you can do here is then go to the rectangle tool, and rectangle tool, line tool, arrow tool, and all those all the way to the star tool, they are basically the same. Let me demonstrate that with the rectangle tool. If I create her a rectangle like so, I'm holding shift again, and if I release shift, I can create her like a rectangle kind of shape. Now what I can do, I can align this within the canvas which I created her earlier. If I click on this, it's gonna align this horizontal, and then it's gonna like vertically center it in the canvas. Now if I want to give a color to it, we just simply click on the fill here, and then you can just adjust her any color that you would like to. Now for instance, if I want to fill this with a gradient, I will click on this gradient icon. I can choose her a lot of bunch of combination of color like so, as you can see. But if I delete this, I can add her a separate color, like you can see her just like that, and as you can see her, we created a perfect kind of gradient that looks aesthetically pleasing. Now once you're done here with the color gradient, if you would like to have a rounded radius, you have a separate section for that. It's called the corner radius. If I try to increase this, as you can see here, while trying to scrubbing through it, it's gonna create this beautiful kind of rounded corner at the edges. Now this isn't just limited to this one, by the way. Once you're done with this, now what I want to do here is trying to make this frame color kind of black or maybe with some gradient. I would select the frame. As you can see here, it's showing me that it has been filled with the white color. I can select this, and then I can just simply fill this. Now speaking of rectangle, I didn't mention how the move tool. Move tool is basically while selecting stuff here, it would automatically, for example, if I'm trying a rectangle, and then it would automatically jump to the move tool. Move tool is pretty self-explanatory. It's just moving thing. Like when you select it, you can move stuff with it. Now you go into the expand the move tool, you have the hand tool. The hand tool is allows you to pen through the canvas like so. Now if you go into the scale tool basically allows you to scale the objects within the frame. So if I select this and just simply drag it, now the scale tool is already selected. As you can see here, I can drag it like so. Now the rectangle can be kind of scaled here with the move tool as well, but let's just say if you want to have an image, if I go here to the expand the menu and go to image and simply import this here, as you can see here, it's telling me how to drop it, so I'm just gonna click it here. Now what you can do here, you can use her the move tool sometime to upscale the stuff, but the vector stuff at a times you wouldn't be able to upscale it proportionally. For example, as I mentioned, is that if you hold shift here, you can proportionally scale it, but if I select here the scale tool, I can proportionally scale it without even holding the shift here. So this is how it works. You can even define her how many times you want to kind of scale it based on the selected item resolution or the dimensions of the object. Anyway, so what I'm gonna do here is delete this and then select the move tool. Once you select the move tool, it will appear the field. Now I can try to make this a black here. I can give her a bit of a gradient, like again, just like the one that we did here in the middle rectangle. Now once you're happy with the design, what you can do here is that now you can try to bring her anything into it. Now what I'm gonna do here is trying to make a copy of this item by holding Alt option, and it's gonna make a copy of it. I can horizontally upscale it. Now if I hold Ctrl or Command while selecting the multiple items, as you can see here, it would select both of them in the layers panel. I can click on the left line, it's gonna align to the left. If I click on the vertical center, it's gonna centrally in the middle. If I select this and go to linear and then click on image, I can upload image from, we did talk about her the gradient as well. If you go to the image, you can even upload her a video as well, but in this case I'm gonna upload her image here and just simply paste that. As you can see here, it would just come here. Now if you try to kind of adjust her the image, like the the dimension within the box, you would click on the crop and then simply drag it here like so. As you can see here, you can adjust it. Now speaking of adjustment, the next tool we're going to talk about her is the pen tool. If I select her a pen tool, with pen tool I can create her any kind of curve. Basically these are used her for drawing different kind of illustration. Now, as you can see here, it created here this line. I can adjust the line stroke here like so. I can make it rounded at the end of the edges. If I want to make it white, I can just simply make it like that too. I can even adjust it here if I would like to, but I'm just gonna keep it as it is. Now, what I want to do here is trying to kind of send it back. I would just simply drag it here in the layers panel, and as you can see here, it's below the items now. If I even drag it here like so. Now, we did talk about a pen tool. The pencil tool is pretty much the similar, but it just gives you a free hand, unlike the pen tool where you have to individually connect between the points. The pencil tool allows you to draw freely. Coming up to the next tool, we have the text tool. Text tool basically is self-explanatory that allows you to type text. For example, if I type here Blade Runner, and then as you can see, I can adjust here the font. I'm just gonna keep it enter as it is, the font weight here. And if I just select it, as you can see at the preview, I can scale the size of it like so. And then if I want to give a color, I would scroll down. While the move tool is already selected, I can select the field and then click on gradient if I want to give a gradient, and then simply playing around with the colors. Now, if you want to collapse the menu, you would click on the collapse menu. It's just gonna collapse it, and you can then interact with the object easily. The next tool we're going to talk about is the plugin tool. Plugin tool allows you to kind of extend the functionality of your Figma application. For example, if I hold Ctrl or Command while selecting the image and go to the plugins and then go to plugin widgets, I can use here a lot of plugins. Like there is a ton of them on the community of Figma. For instance, if I want to edit this using Photography, which is the extension plugin to the Figma, I can edit the image while it was already selected. Now I can adjust here a color. If I go to the layer adjustment, click on color balance, and play around here with the colors and things like that, trying to bring this, and go to file and then simply save it. It's gonna reflect the changes right away. You can close the plugin now. If I press Ctrl Command Z, I can go back, and if I press Ctrl or Command plus Shift Z, I can redo back the previous step. Now, coming up to the next tool, we have the command tool. The command tool allows you to kind of comments on your file. For example, whenever you're working here in a team, you would be working with multiple team members. Figma, it allows you to is really great for collaboration. With the comment tool, you can leave here comments, and then the other developer or the designer can see the comments to resolve it. For example, now as you can see here, the comments is already left it, and it would be right here. Now if I share the file with another person by clicking share and then click on copy link, I'm just gonna simply paste this from my browser. I'm gonna access it from another account. I'm gonna click on ask to edit. It will send the request to the other designer. As you can see here in the corner, that's me and that's my other account. You can simply then come back here to my Figma, and as you can see here, telling me that the designer wants to have access for editing. I can approve it. It's gonna approve the access, and it's gonna reload automatically on the browser or the other designer account. Now I can see here the comments and all those things. I mean, without even the edit permission, I can still see the comments, by the way. But as you can see here, with multiple collaboration with different designers from different places, they can easily work on within the same file or creating beautiful designs. You can see how the changes are reflected here. So that's it for this video. If you like this video, be sure to give a thumbs up. I have also recently created a videos where I have shown the tips and tricks on Figma. If you would like to watch that, click right here, and then I will see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.